Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 2 of our weekly NFL picks here at the World of Football. And unfortunately, there's only two of us here to talk about the picks this week. That's right. Aaron is somewhere on the Appalachian Trail down in Georgia, finishing up a part that was missed by his wife so that she could claim that she did the whole trail. So we're wishing them the best. I know cell phone reception's a little spotty. Aaron said he was going to send us his picks, so we'll share those separately. But first, we got some other people to recognize and kind of talk about how well everybody did last week. Dad, I see you're here. Hello, I haven't introduced you yet. Randy Snow's here, everybody. Dad, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Doing great. We had a lot of good pickers last week. We were all in double digits, so that was great.
Yep, it was really good to start off the year. So, without further ado, let's look at how everybody did last week. So, our top dogs all went 13-3. That would be Kyle from World of Football, Sea Dog, and Mike, a couple of our YouTube commenters there at the top with him. And then at 12-4, we had Aaron and myself, B. Lewis, and Hawkeye07. And then rounding out the whole standings there, Dad, you're down there with Royce at 11-5. And while you may be at the bottom of the heap, I mean, still 11-5. That's not too shabby.
No, I'm a game behind you guys and 2 games from the top person. So, like I said, everybody had a really good week. So we'll see what week 2 brings.
Right. And then so we'll have overall standings probably starting next week. As long as everybody gets more than 2 weeks picked, you'll be on the overall standings. If you just come in for 1 week, then we'll just count you for that week and then not put you on the big leaderboard. So with that all done, let's get to picking this week's games, Dad. I know you got stuff to do. I know I got stuff to do. So why don't you read our little disclaimer before we get into the picks?
Yes. If you plan to use our predictions as a means to justify your own gambling debts or gambling bets, I said that wrong last week too. Gambling bets, then you, my friend, are an idiot. We don't know what we're talking about, and you should never listen to us for gambling advice. This is for entertainment purposes only.
All right, guys, you heard the man. He said the words. Now it's time to jump in to week 2 action as he goes old school and writes things down by hand on paper.
Right there. There they are. You want me to go
All
first? You
right.
want to go first?
I'll go first this week since you went first last week, and then we'll insert Aaron at the end there because he's going to submit his picks separately. We're hoping to get a video in by the time we get this up. Otherwise, it'll just be Aaron's picks straight up with just a nice picture of him that I'll dig up from his Facebook page or something. But all right, guys, the week 2 slate of games starts off with the Buffalo Bills traveling down to Miami. This should be an interesting game. Buffalo quarterback Josh Allen had a great week last week. The Miami Dolphins had to get a little bit of luck to come back for the win. So I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills to get a big win on the road. Then, starting the 1 o'clock slate of games, you have the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Baltimore to play the Ravens. I'm going to make this easy. Give me the Ravens. The Los Angeles Chargers are going to travel to Carolina to play the Panthers. Give me Jim Harbaugh to get his second win in a row against the lowly Panthers. The New Orleans Saints travel to Dallas to play the Cowboys. 2 teams that had a pretty good week 1, but I see Dallas staying hot and getting that win over the Saints. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers go to Detroit in a rematch of that divisional round playoff game last year. I think it's going to be a tight one. Baker Mayfield looked mighty good, but you know who I'm going to trust? I'm going to trust the Detroit Lions team who didn't play their best game last week and still got the W. All right, then the Indianapolis Colts are going to travel to Green Bay to take on the Packers, who are no longer with Jordan Love. Originally, I would have taken the Packers, but give me the Colts to get a big win on the road in Lambeau. The Cleveland Browns will travel down to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars. Give me the Jaguars in this one. I don't trust Deshaun Watson leading that Cleveland Browns team. So as long as he's the starting quarterback, I don't give the Browns a shot. All right, then the San Francisco 49ers are going to travel to Minnesota to play the Vikings. Give me the 49ers to get a win on the road. The Seattle Seahawks will travel out to New England to play the Patriots in a Super Bowl rematch from many years ago. Give me the Seahawks to go on the road and win that one. The New York Jets will go to Tennessee to play the Titans. Well, I think I'm going to take the Jets in that one. That's right. Aaron Rodgers gets his first win as a Jet. And then the I jumped ahead here. The New York Giants travel to Washington to play the Commanders. The Giants look pretty bad, so I'm going to take the Commanders at home to probably win an ugly game. Then the Los Angeles Rams travel to Arizona to play the Cardinals. Cardinals looked like a pretty decent team last week. We'll see if it's fool's gold or not, but I'm going to take Matthew Stafford and those Rams to get the win on the road. The Pittsburgh Steelers will travel to Denver to play the Broncos. This is going to be an ugly game as well. But I'm going to take the Steelers to get the road win in Denver to spoil Bo Nix's home debut. Then the Cincinnati Bengals are going to travel to Kansas City to get beaten up by the Chiefs. The Chicago Bears and Houston Texans are going to duke it out on Sunday Night Football, but I think the Houston Texans here are going to totally dominate this one. And then finally, your Monday night game this week, the Atlanta Falcons will play the Philadelphia Eagles, in which I will take the Philadelphia Eagles. And those are my picks for the week. Any thoughts on those?
Pretty good picks. You and I agree on a lot of them, but there are a few differences. So
Okay, well, let's hear yours then.
Here are my picks for week 2. Just the winners. I'm taking the Dolphins. I'm taking the Ravens, the Chargers, the Cowboys, the Lions. I had the Packers, but then I changed it to the Colts because you reminded me that Jordan Love's not playing. So, yeah, I switched to the Colts there. The Jaguars, I got the 49ers winning, the Patriots winning, the Titans winning, Giants, Rams, Steelers, Chiefs, Texans, and Eagles. And those are my 16 winners for this week.
All right. And while we sit here and wait for Aaron's picks, while we're recording it, you guys get to see Aaron's picks right now on screen.
What's up, guys? Sorry I couldn't be there in person to do the picks, but it's Wednesday morning here, and I'll just set them over to you guys and hopefully have another good week. Give me the Dolphins at home over the Bills, the Lions at home over the Bucks, the Ravens at home over the Raiders, the Jags at home over the Browns. The Browns did not look as good as I thought they were going to. Give me the Jets on the road to get their first win over the Titans. 49ers, I think, go on the road and beat Minnesota. Chargers also go into Carolina and get their win. Seattle and New England, that was a tough one for me. I think I'll take Seattle. New England did impress me last week, but I feel like Seattle's going to be a pretty solid team. Give me the Cowboys at home over the Saints. The Commanders at home over the lowly Giants. Another tough one I had was taking the Colts over the Packers, even though the Packers are at home. Not knowing the status of Jordan Love, I don't think he's going to play. I'll take the safe bet in the Colts there on the road to bounce back. I think the Rams bounce back in Arizona. They take down the Cardinals. I think the Broncos beat the Steelers at home at Mile High. I think the Chiefs squeak out a win over the Bengals. The Bengals didn't look too great, but I think they'll show up for Kansas City. But I think Kansas City will be ready for them. And then Sunday night, give me the Texans over the Bears. That offense with Caleb Williams was atrocious, and I hope it stays that way all season. And I think the Texans are going to be one of the top contenders in the AFC. And then to round out week 2, give me the Eagles at home over the Falcons. And those are my picks. I'm not sure how many we agreed on this week, but hopefully I still stay near the top. All right. Good luck, everyone.
So normally, we do sweeps. We figure out how many we all shared together in our sweeps, but since Aaron's picks are going to come in a little late from us recording, I'll just have the graphic up on screen again this week, Dad, just to save you a little time.
Okay. Yeah, you and I, anyway, agree on 12 of those games, so we only differ on 4.
Okay. Kind of like last week almost. We only differed on a few, so.
Yep.
Very interesting. This should be a fun weekend. Like, I think that Lions-Bucks game might be the game of the week. We'll have to wait and see. We'll see how that Texans-Bears game goes, if that Bears defense is that for real to hang on and put up a fight against C.J. Stroud. So those are a couple of games I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. When you were reading off of the scores for last week for all of our guest pickers, you missed one. You missed a new guy. You missed Mr. Nosy Otter.
Oh, Mr. Nosy Otter. Well, I put his name on the board there in post-production, so I'm sorry, Mr. Nosy Otter, for forgetting to put you up there, or at least talking about you while we were doing it, but you're on the board. Don't you worry about it. I do all that later, so it'll be fixed.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah, we had 8 guest pickers this week. the last week, and that's kind of what we had last year. We had some people come and go during the course of the season. A couple weeks, then we didn't hear from them anymore. But eight guest pickers was a pretty nice number for our first week. So hope everybody comes back, and maybe a couple more. Who knows?
Yeah, and because we also started doing the community tab for people to post their picks, we did get a couple of people through in their picks. I just wanted to give them a shout out this week since they got them in ahead of time. And that would be Sea Dog got his picks in, and so did Leonard. They got their picks in. Just thank you guys so much. I got you guys screenshot and put on the screen right now. Thanks again, guys, for leaving those down there. All right. Anything else, Dad, before we just wrap this week's show up and get ready for next week?
Nope, it was an exciting game for the Lions. That overtime win. I'm surprised I was able to stay up for the whole thing, but I was right there. It was so weird because we were there for the Lions-Rams playoff game back in January, and now to see the same two teams playing again, it was almost deja vu all over again. So
Yeah.
great they came out with a win.
Heck yeah. All right, if there's no further things to talk about, guys, obviously all the social medias and stuff in the description below. You know how to find us if you've been following along with the picks. Leave your picks down below, obviously. We'd love to add you guys to the fun this season. For Randy Snow, I've been Adam Snow, and we'll see you guys next week.